With regards to your fitness, how good is it to be back involved?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, a long time coming, a lot longer than I thought it would take. But last week completed my first sort of 90 minutes in the reserves for, you know, a long time, over a year. So really pleased to be back, and yeah, touch wood, can keep going now and push to be sort of ready for more minutes in the first team. You mentioned the reserves in the under-23s as well, which you've been involved in. How beneficial has that been to you? Yeah, really beneficial. I know in the under-23 Cup we can only have a certain amount of overage players, and I probably take enough overageness out of it. But yeah, it's been really good, and the games have been really competitive, which is another bonus. Like you say, there's a difference between the reserves and under-23 Cup, because there's something to play for in the under-23 Cup, and we've done really well. So yeah, a few more games in that. Whether I'll play or not, I don't know, but they've been really beneficial for me.
If we go back to that injury last season, what was going through your mind sort of a couple of days after it had sunk in a bit? Were you worried? I mean,
I'm not sure really. I had the op only 3 days later, so I think first and foremost was just getting the operation as soon as possible, and then just working as hard as I can to be back as quick as I can. Obviously I knew we had a great chance of being in the playoffs and getting to the playoff final, and I knew it was a long shot, but I didn't really rule out being back involved for that ever. And I think that us being in the playoffs sort of forced me to be strict with my rehab and not ease off and think, oh, okay, I'll leave it till next season. As soon as I could run, I was running. As soon as I could, you know, kick a ball, I was kicking a ball. So I think you know, having the playoffs last season was beneficial to me. Being strict with my rehab really, and obviously I had a bit of a setback at the start of the season, but that was something that couldn't be helped either way. Even if I'd have done nothing, it might have still happened. So I don't blame my initial rehab at all on that. It's just something that happens and is quite common. So I think now it's just to continue what I've been doing and the routine that I've got, and because it seems to be working, and hopefully I can be back involved soon.
As you say, you are back now. How much are you looking forward to the rest of the season? And you really want to make an impact, I guess. Yeah,
well, it was about this time last year that just over a year ago, I suffered the injury, so I missed the end of the season, which is always where you want to be playing. You know, there's every game's. We keep saying like, you know, Tuesday's a big game now, and Tuesday will come out of the way, and then Saturday would be a big game. So every game between now and the end of the season's a big one, and they're games you want to be involved in.
What have you made of the campaign so far, watching on for the majority of it?
I think we've been brilliant. I really do. Obviously, having games postponed means we're a bit further down the table than what we've hoped and liked if we'd have gained 3 points in those games in hand. And now it's just a case of using those to our advantage. You know, lots of people might say I prefer the points in the bag, but you know, it's in our hands, and if we win both our games now, we're in the top 3. So I think you'd rather be in a position where it's in your hands than not.
You featured off the bench against Luton and Crewe. Obviously the Crewe match was a fantastic ending. Just by your faces, must have been such a great feeling to come back. Yeah, well, I was dying to get on the pitch actually, because I was half thinking, you know, a draw's maybe not enough here. So I was dying to get on the pitch, and then when they scored, and Tiz looked at me straight away and gave me the nod, and in my head I was kind of thinking it's too late, but it wasn't, luckily. So yeah, it was a crazy end to the game, and yeah, fortunately I was on the pitch, and I say all I've wanted to do since I've been back, whether it be from the bench from now to the end of the season, or whether he wants me to start, is just contribute, and I felt like I did in that game, certainly. We move on to Yeovil tomorrow. Recent matches have been tough, and so naturally you're expecting a difficult night.
Yeah, obviously we lost to them earlier in the season at their place. You know, they're a good side, and we're going to have to be at our best. We're going to have to know how we want to play and stick to the game plan that Tiz has got. Yeah, and we're going to have to perform, because like I say, every game between now and the end of the season is going to be big, and teams are going to have stuff to play for. Yeah, it's going to be tough.